Good evening. Welcome to all of you. It's great to see you. Oh, wait, well, not exactly to see you, but to be with you tonight. All of you. We are getting really close, though, aren't we, to seeing each other, all of us in real life? So, for the moment, hello to all of you in the virtual world. I'm Joey Chen, and like all of you, I'm very happy to be here this evening on behalf of the Field School. As you know, our son Evan is a 2018 grad, and I know graduation is coming up right around the corner, just a few short days for many of you, so congratulations on all of your accomplishments. You know, my husband and I talk very often about how much Field shaped our son's life, and I know that we all share an appreciation for the extraordinary experience that Field is. So whether you are an alum yourself by doing in the internship or any kind of winter production, exploring your own passions, your interests throughout the Transcendentalism Project, remember that? Yeah. Or performing an original play on Studio Day, it is without a doubt, absolutely and uniquely a Field experience. And what I love even more about the theme for this evening is that it is up to everyone's individual interpretation. When I heard the theme, I was reminded that the individual student is really the cornerstone of the Field experience. It is about embracing the potential of each and every student, evoking curiosity in the classroom, studio, and on the field, the real field. Classrooms and community are all enriched by all the individuals who are part of our school community. At Field, you dare to be yourself while contributing in big and small ways to the collective experience of our entire community. All of that is unique to Field. Besides that, we all know that Field is a special place, even in a community, a city, a whole Delmarva area that has a lot of great independent schools. This is an embracing environment that brings together students from all over to create a feeling of true diversity, of true community. Tonight we're going to hear from students, from alumni, from teachers, school leaders, and more, all reminding us of what makes Field, Field. And we will be asking for your help along the way to ensure that we are able to continue securing access to a Field education throughout the widest community. Now, we're sticking with a COVID-safe approach here this evening. There's just me, well, not just me. Also, my friend, current Field parent Jeff Markowitz is in the studio with us. Field has made health and safety a top priority throughout this very difficult year that we've had. And incredibly enough, made it through without a single incidence of community spread. Staying healthy remains a top priority for Field going forward, and for that reason, our Board of Trustees Chair Will Picot brings us his welcome, although he's coming to us from distance. Will?
Good evening, fellow Fieldians. My name is Will Picot. I am the chair of Field's Board of Trustees. I'm also the parent of two recent Field graduates, Jack, who graduated in 2018, and Julia, who graduated in 2020. On behalf of the entire board, welcome to Dare to Be Field, Field's first virtual fundraiser. The purpose this evening is the same as our Field Fest events in the past, to support the school's financial aid. It is our opportunity to diffuse good by sharing the bright opportunity of a Field education more broadly than otherwise would be possible, and thereby to enhance and enrich the school as a whole. Thus, this evening allows us as a community to embrace and act upon generosity of heart, one of the three pillars of Field's mission: self-discovery, skills of mind, generosity of heart. And while we're at it, to enjoy fellowship and to have fun. So thank you for attending this evening and your support of Field and its children. Please be generous, seize the opportunities, and enjoy this celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Will. And you are so right. So all of us, please be generous this evening and give. So here's the opportunity, how this works. The online auction is open and ready for your bids. We're checking in, and we're excited to see so many of you are already taking part. There are multiple ways to access the auction this evening. If you have registered already, you just click on that personalized link you received by text message to start the bidding. You can also text Dare to Be Field, one word mushed together, Dare to Be Field, to 243-725. That's the hardest job I have tonight. 243-725. Get started there. In any case, please be sure that your account is set up now so you can be ready to participate in everything that happens here this evening. If you're watching on the Dare to Be Field website, click the little button that says Browse Auction to visit the auction page. If you're not on the Dare to Be Field website, please click the link in the video description. You know, at Field, of course, we honor the unique learning style of each student, and we foster self-discovery, skills of mind, and generosity of heart. We know those, right? Through creative, individualized teaching and an inclusive community, Field inspires students to become confident, to be active and bold thinkers, and engaged members of society. Elizabeth Ely envisioned a school of her own, a place where a classic curriculum encompassing organized fields of knowledge could be taught in a small environment that stressed dialogue, analytic thinking, and the larger lessons of how young people could grow to become generous, responsible, and self-knowing adults. So the Field School was born from that. Today Field is still guided by the motto, Audace Per, dare to be wise. For all of us, this past year has brought significant challenges and changes to our daily lives. You know that. Schools have had to conceive, design, redesign on a never-ending cycle. It's hard to remember, but a little over a year ago, our teachers had no idea, none of us did, what Zoom was, or how they could teach virtually. All of the traditional structures and support of school quite literally had to be thrown out, started over again. In Daring to Be Field, our administrators worked through the summer to outfit the campus technologically, even tearing down several walls to construct learning spaces for the new reality that we had. Teachers were also engaged in professional development to translate all their skills and their content to a new modality of learning. The premium that Field put on health and safety during the crazy school year we had brought out real ingenuity and flexibility of the Field community in a year that required so much of both. So let's take a look now at what happened behind the red door this year and remind us of what it means to dare to be Field.
When Elizabeth Ely founded the school in 1972, she was looking to create a place that really didn't exist, a place where kids would be fully known, not just simply a name in a grade book. That mission is what has kept me at this school for over 30 years. And I think if Elizabeth were to see the school today, she'd be immensely proud of how we've taken that very core mission and expanded it.
I've seen Field change a lot over the years from my time as a student, as a young teacher, and then as an administrator, but I don't think anybody could have predicted the kind of adaptation that would be needed during the pandemic.
And when I look back, I'm proud of the way we approached it with this spirit of opportunity. The needs for our students were extraordinary, and it pushed us to center their needs and their learning in ways that I think were truly exceptional.
That was a huge and is a huge challenge, but it's also an amazing opportunity, especially with Lori coming in at this point, bringing fresh perspective and energy. I think it's really a benefit to Field and to the community.
Coming into Field, it was really important for me to hear from students and from our teachers and to design the best teaching and learning possible for our students during a pandemic. We weren't comfortable just treading water or simply staying with what we had been doing. We wanted to make sure that the learning we were providing met this critical moment. It was really important for me to get to know students and to hear from them and to understand what it was about Field that was special to them and what they wanted to maintain and build upon and foster and what they wanted to change and improve and have evolved during this time. And so we worked on a process of getting to know each other and learning about each other and hearing from each other, and we're continuing that process right now.
I really think about how even in like 6th and 7th grade, I was working with kids from all grades. And so you're really encouraged to broaden your horizons, meet people from everywhere at Field and even in the broader DC community in order to really expand your horizons. So Lori, you've been at Field for almost a year now as head of school, and I was wondering, in sort of an unprecedented time to be a student and to be an educator, what is something you've learned about Field and learned about education?
What I've learned about education, and especially over the last year, is that there are enough real-world problems to solve. We don't need to role play or create simulations. What we need is to teach students about critical problem-solving skills, how to deeply analyze text and data, and media literacy skills. It's important now and for their future.
Knowing that Laura's first time here and mine's too makes me feel special. So, because I'm not the only one, Laura is new and all the sixth graders are new, so we can learn together. Field helps me be a leader by just being myself and trying to help others if they're struggling. Laura, how do you encourage leadership in students?
Schools should be about students, not the adults in the building. What I realized about Field early on was that we placed a high premium on student agency and leadership. In fact, we want students to be their own architects of their own learning. And we also want students to develop their own curriculum, to be independent thinkers, and to develop clubs and activities that are not only of high interest, but also help us develop a better world.
Being in a pandemic is not how I imagined my start to high school, much less my start to a new school in general. I mean, starting all virtually was really, really tough. But the entire community, my teachers, my advisor, and my friends that I've made were so welcoming to me and really made me feel like immediately like I was a part of the community. Lori, how have students here at Field helped with your transition to the community?
What I've really appreciated is how willing students have been to share with me their hopes and their dreams for Field, whether it's in a quiet conversation on the terrace, whether it's looking at artwork together, or studying through an independent project. They have shared with me what they love about Field and what they hope will be different in the future.
I didn't know that I was very passionate about reading and language arts until my teachers encouraged me to take more advanced courses and to challenge myself and push myself to get to a higher level. Even though the advanced classes can get a little bit challenging at times, I've been able to kind of swim in the water in a way. And it's all thanks to my teachers that I've been able to find myself and know what I'm passionate about. Lori, why is student choice in education important to you?
Connection is paramount in education today. Student-to-student connection and students' connection to the content in what they're learning. When students have choice and feel a high degree of interest in what they're learning, then they can delve deeper and feel more connected to the area and the content study. But more importantly, when they take that content and transfer it to skills, that's the holy grail of education.
Dare to be powerful.
Dare to be thoughtful.
Dare to be audacious.
Dare to be ambitious.
Dare to be impactful.
Dare to be yourself.
Dare to be resilient.
Dare to be different.
Dare to be Field.
Love that. Making a field education accessible to more students is the whole goal of this evening. Every dollar we raise, every single dollar supports financial aid. So to bid or donate this evening, please visit Dare to be Field, that's one word, dareToBeField.org, or log into your One Cause account via the text messages you've already received. Remember, you can also register by texting Dare to be Field, again, one word, to 243-725, 243-725. If you haven't checked these things out yet, well, take a look. There's plenty that you might want to bid on here. The items will be closing up after the show at 8 o'clock this evening, so don't miss out. So first up on one of our options is a supreme evening. This is a real insider's look at the High Court from some field insiders. That's right, we've got some people with real insight into what's going on in the Supreme Court. Current field parent Amy Howe, who is the senior reporter also for the widely quoted SCOTUS blog, will moderate a panel featuring a former Solicitor General and alumni parent, Noel Francisco, and also Tom Goldstein, who is also a field parent and one of the High Court's most experienced practitioners. Everyone who covers the Supreme Court knows who he is. You will enjoy this conversation. Best of all, you don't have to bid on this one, you just sign up. You put in your announcement in the space at the price listed that's on your bidding device now. Now, take a look at another great opportunity we've got, and I feel a little like Vanna White, except I don't get to flip letters. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, who is also a field parent, will host a personal tour of the U.S. Capitol building. Now, this might include some visits to the crypt, to the rotunda, to Statuary Hall. maybe even some special locations that aren't usually open to anybody in the public. Maybe you get to see a secret Senate hideaway. Well, this special opportunity is only available to Field community members, so please bid high on that. Another special opportunity we have tonight is a 3-night stay in a water view room at the iconic Beach Plum Inn in beautiful Martha's Vineyard. So just the other day I spoke to someone who mentioned that they had stayed on the vineyard all through the winter, and even then she said it was amazing. So this getaway is what we all need, an antidote for all those COVID blues we've had. Next up, Broadway is back. Don't miss the amazing musical theater tickets we have available tonight. You, along with 5 guests, can enjoy a performance of the iconic musical Jesus Christ Superstar from really exceptional orchestra seats at the Kennedy Center on Saturday, March 5th, 2022. I know, get out your calendar now, but Saturday, March 5th, 2022. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to see a live theater production. Also, here is an item that every Field kid, every Field family is going to know about this one. Taquerian, the Korean taco grill, yeah. I don't even know how many lunches, how many Field lunches have come from Taquerian, which is the brainchild of a Field alum, Mike Leonard. I know we've had an unlimited number of Taquerian lunches in our family. Taquerian has generously donated 3 gift certificates to the auction. The winning bidder on each of the 3 packages gets a $750 credit toward catering from Taquerian at the Yards, which, by the way, just a few days away, if you're planning a Field graduation party, that could be the perfect conclusion to a Field experience. Again, the auction on all these items is going to close up at 8 o'clock this evening, so make sure to get in your bids while you can. You know, everyone who works at Field is an educator. Never was this more true than in this year. The whole staff pitched in innumerable ways this year, including coming in an hour early each day to process and log the health screenings that you had to do, supervising classrooms for virtual teachers, lunch duty, all kinds of other ways, quieter ways. Maybe sitting with a student who's anxious about their first day back on campus, maybe from virtual teaching, maybe helping new students make a friend somehow in this environment, and coaching in our hybrid sports and PE program. You know, we are aware of the toll the pandemic has taken on the mental health of adolescents. Specifically, in true Field fashion, the school focused on doing right by the students by creating space and learning that would support our children in finding strategies for them to cope with all the stressors of limited social activity, virtual schooling, and, to be fair, endless hours stuck at home with their parents. Oh. Yeah, I know. They put up with a lot. There was loss, though, of time with family and friends and community members to COVID-19, and the community supported each other throughout the unexpected grief and mourning for loved ones whose lives ended all too early in the pandemic. With the pandemic now receding, but the challenges of the year still front of mind, we asked students and teachers to reflect on how this community has sustained and supported them during the difficult year that we've had, and where they also found moments of real joy. There were more than we could possibly include here, but each one illuminates the importance of connection and relationship. So let's take a look.
Today is April 26th, and this is the first day of this school year in which we're all back on campus.
As soon as I got on campus, you can really feel like the faculty and staff are trying really hard to make the senior year feel a little more like a senior year, and I feel really appreciated as a senior. I know the rest of the senior class does too.
It was one of the first days that we were back on campus after spring break. So when all of high school was back on campus, and it was a gorgeous day out, and the 11th and 12th graders were mixing for the first time in advisory, and all of us were on the turf and they were playing kickball and they were laughing, and it just felt so great to see the grades being able to mingle again and to be outside and just be themselves and have fun and doing what they love. And that really stuck out to me as a moment of joy this past year.
I came to Field this year as an 8th grader, and given that this is a pandemic year, I thought that the transition might be difficult. But the community has been so welcoming, and the teachers encourage free and creative thinking, which I love.
I've managed to experience a lot of moments of joy despite the difficult year. But one that really stands out to me is the first day of hybrid learning way back in October, trying to think of a way to orient them back to like, what does it mean to be in a field classroom where we can go off on tangents and come up with interesting ideas and be creative and let students lead things. And then a kid says, could you have gotten Shake Shack in ancient Egypt? Which of course is a joke question, but then I started thinking, well, could you? And so we split up into groups and everyone tries to research one thing, like how to get a hamburger. What are the components of a hamburger? Where do they come from? How will we get them? How to get a milkshake? And all of this stuff, and none of it would have happened if not for Field Kids.
A moment of joy I had at Field this year was seeing my friends at the start of hybrid learning.
I saw 3 6th graders barrel rolling down the hill onto the turf, and they were so excited. And this is a group of kids that, you know, a couple weeks before that didn't know each other in person. They had seen each other on Zoom and that's it. And to realize, you know what, they're gonna be okay. They're gonna find a hill and they're gonna barrel roll down the hill and the kids are gonna be all right.
I was outside, I was greeting students, they were coming back onto campus. They arrived with their backpacks, with their lunches. They needed their schedules printed. They got lost in the hallways. It felt normal again. It felt like school again.
They've shown a ton of resilience and innovation in the way that they approach their artwork. And witnessing their creativity, whether that's been on Zoom or in person, has brought me a lot of joy. And I'm just grateful to have learned so much alongside them this year.
I appreciate the Field community because not only were we allowed to come back to campus and see our peers, but we were given the option to do sports. And as a senior who has been doing sports since freshman year, it was really exciting to be able to close out my time at Field with the sport that I love.
A wonderful part of the day for me now is when everybody's getting ready to do sports and they are eager to get going, and they're who's got the balls, where's your locker, where's this, and steadily between all of this time frame since we've been back, I love hearing the basketballs slowly bouncing over the gym floor. And to me, that's the sort of steadiness and the calm that we are now having as we're all very happy to be back on campus.
Being a member of the Field community is just so special, and Field is all about relationships between students, between teacher and student, between colleagues, and truly that's what's gotten me through this school year. The wonderful relationships that I get to have with my students, both new and old, and my colleagues.
Knowing that I have these amazing colleagues, this amazing group of students, and just being able to be together to push through a difficult time has been incredible.
I've become a better teacher because of this school year. And I'm so grateful for everyone in the community that has supported us.
Oh, that is beautiful. There really was no need to ask anybody for a script, for students, for teachers. As you can see, they all spoke from the heart. And as a parent, I know the impact field education has had on our child. Really appreciate that. Now, we want to take a moment here to thank the sponsors of this evening. You know, one thing I appreciate about our community is the myriad of ways that families donate all their time, their energy, their resources to the school. As you can see, there are a whole lot, more than we could possibly name. Of course, Field families give so much back to the community, and we thank everyone who has donated an auction item for this evening, who's bid on one, who sent an email reminding other families to attend this evening, who's hosting a viewing party in their homes. Hey, hello, hi, how you all doing? Though this year has been very tough for everyone, we thank you for reminding us of how special the Field community really is, especially when we all pull together. As we know, things have been kind of different, right? Studio Day, for one, hasn't been possible in the traditional way, but that didn't stop our very creative studio teachers who found another way to reimagine those presentation spaces we're used to for students. Take a look at this. This would be the first ever Field School Film Festival. Take a look. Oh, that is incredible. I love that. It is one of the amazing things that has come out of the pandemic year at Field, a new Field tradition. Yep, next week, more of the Field School Film Festival. That's May 24th through May 28th. That is next week. You don't want to miss this. This is like the future of all the next Robert Redford directors of great movies are coming out of this. So we're looking forward to that. Well, all the mainstays of our curriculum, like the 8th grade history research paper, the 9th grade trial of Odysseus, right about now, the writing of some graduation speeches. Guys, seniors, you should be writing your graduation speeches now. Well, we've been able to focus on project-based learning that allows students to dive deeper into content and continues to demand critical thinking, writing, and analytical skills. We believe all students can learn and that it is our responsibility to engage in the process of learning, which will serve them over the course of their entire lifetimes. While Field has always valued middle and high school as their own period of time, not just that time before college or other life experiences, it is in hearing from our alumni that we really begin to understand the long-term meaning and benefits of a field education and that experience.
My name is Sonia. I graduated Field class of 2012.
My name is Sophie Howard. I graduated in 2010.
My name is Sam Mason, and I graduated from Field in 2011.
I'm one of 3 siblings, and we all went to Field, and you could really say that we're a Field family. And I think Field really impacted me especially. I was often a quiet kid, and Field encouraged me to speak up.
I think that teachers truly take the kids under their wings. A Field teacher was actually one of my groomsmen at my wedding and actually officiated my wedding. So I think that says a lot into how impactful those relationships can be.
The biggest thing that Field taught me over the years was a love of learning and a lifelong learning, and now going on to get my graduate degree, but that's not going to stop me from learning in the rest of my life and going on through the rest of my career.
We really want to represent the world that we see reflected in our greater DMV area. It's really important that we reflect that diversity, the range of learning styles. We represent all the different facets of what it means to live in the Washington, D.C. area. And so access is incredibly crucial in that respect.
Being able to have a really strong financial aid program is a really important part of Field's equity and access to the community, because every student, no matter where they're coming from, should be able to have access to the community and being able to be a student athlete and being able to be involved in the theater and in the arts and really be in a community every day where they're seen, they're heard, and they're affirmed.
Field really offers an opportunity for kids to figure out who they are, to challenge their thinking, and you're not often in an environment like that day to day that tries to push you to be, your best self. I would not be who I am today without Field, and giving kids the access of a Field education is truly life-changing.
It's a great community of not only students, but of families. And the families are here to support each other, to lift each other up. One of the things I love about Field is how generously people give of their time, of their energy, and their financial support.
Philanthropy provides an opportunity to support the school in a myriad of ways, including our guiding principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which fosters not only a sense of community, but a way of thinking and a way of being in the world that is truly representative of the Field experience.
Field School is built on the foundation of a whole child education.
We believe that middle and high school are not simply preparation for college.
They're their own time of life that should be nurtured and celebrated.
And focused on expanding the sense of curiosity and inquiry
that leads to a meaning-driven life.
We believe in educating every child.
And that every child has unlimited potential.
Markers of success are never grades and test scores.
At Field, success is measured by deep knowledge and skills of mind.
And the idea that it is not what we know, but what we do with what we know.
Preparing students to be informed citizens,
creative members of the workforce,
and good neighbors.
Learning should always be meaningful, relevant, and joyful. And for learning to be all 3 of those things, you need to have a community that reflects the world that we live in. Then the depth and the richness of that experience is real.
Hello, folks. My name is Jeff Markowitz, and I am the proud parent of Will Markowitz, a senior at Field. I want to take a moment and tell you why I love Field and why my family loves Field. And it's all captured in one word: opportunity. See, Field gave my son Will the opportunity to shine as an individual in the classroom, which I don't think he would have gotten at our local school. It gave him the opportunity to shine outside the classroom socially in that unique and wonderful Field culture. The opportunity to be with incredible educators and faculty who got to know him personally and on a first name basis, which also wouldn't have happened. And it gave him the opportunity to soar really high and crash really gracefully. So I am so thankful for Field, and I am so happy for all the effort tonight to try to make sure other people have that opportunity, because we all know there are folks in our community in the DMV who do not have that opportunity. And that's what tonight is all about, trying to get other kids the opportunities that our kids have been so fortunate to have at Field. So my role tonight, and it's an honor, is to facilitate our first ever Fund a Falcon effort. Fund a Falcon effort, during which we invite all of you out there, the entire Field family, to make a contribution in direct support of financial aid at Field. So this is the most important part of our program tonight. Of course, I feel that way because it's my part, but it's why we're here. So before we get started, let me give you some technical notes. Most of you just received a text with a link to your account to make a contribution. So here's what you do. Click that link, then click the button that says Fund a Falcon. It's that simple. You'll have a variety of donation levels to choose from, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. If you have not yet registered to participate, it's not too late. Just text DARE to be Field, all one word, to 243-725. That's 243-725. Now, as you make your gifts, we'll be able to recognize you here on this screen right behind me. And look, we have gifts coming in right now. Okay, Jennifer and Michael Oko, thank you so much. $16,402. Now, let me be clear. That's not what Jennifer and Michael gave. They're very generous people, I'm sure, but this is how much we've raised so far. It's a lot of money. Is it enough? Spoiler alert, no. We need to raise more money. So please, keep giving, because we want to see this number climb throughout the evening. So as the number grows, don't forget this. We have an incredibly generous donor, someone who agreed to match dollar for dollar up to $50,000. $50,000. So know that the impact of your gift will be doubled. And if your company matches your gift, that's tripled. And all of that money is going to go to help kids who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to go to Field. So at Field, we share a commitment to increasing access to a Field education to a more socioeconomically diverse population. And our goal is for the school community to mirror the rich cultural, racial, and ethnic diversity of the district. So as you're considering your gift tonight, consider these statistics. Okay? Number one, $2.6 million is committed by Field each year towards financial aid. Number two, without an endowment, the school is drawing on the current year's annual fund and other philanthropy to meet the needs of currently enrolled students and new students who have need. All right, so let's go back to the scoreboard because I see it's moving. Okay, $25,002. So thank you, Anonymous. Maybe Anonymous gave $25,252. See how exciting this is? We are more than halfway to that $50,000 figure. But hey, we don't need to stop at $50,000 because let's face it, we're Field. So another fact, 90% of financial aid awards are for more than 90% of tuition and associated costs. And all the dollars we allocate toward financial aid are utilized every year. The need is that great that no matter how much money we raise, every single dollar is needed and essential. The truth is, every year we have many qualified and mission-aligned students who cannot enroll because they cannot meet the financial needs, and we can't meet their financial needs. And that really is heartbreaking, that there's some kid out there like my son who would prosper at Field and have the time of their life and grow and get access to all those opportunities I mentioned, but that's not going to happen unless we all contribute. So let's go back to the screen. Wow, we are over $30,000, $30,202. I'm fascinated by the $2. I'm going to figure that out later. And it's still growing while I speak. So we're really doing great. We are 60% of the way, over 60% of the way to our target. So earlier I said I was going to tell you what different levels of contributions go towards. So first, $150 covers early arrival breakfast item for one student for the year. Now, as someone who hasn't skipped breakfast since the 90s, I can tell you, we got to get these kids food in the morning so they can have a great day. $350 provides art supplies to a student for the year. $900 provides a 3-season athlete the opportunity to play. $1,500 provides lunch for one student for the whole year. And $2,700 provides 4 students on financial assistance with their own personal laptops. Now think about your kids. Could they have prospered at Field without a laptop? I don't think any kid in this day and age can prosper without a laptop. So please, please give generously. Now, of course, I've named several amounts here, but you can give at whatever level you like. You can give way more than $2,700. I don't think you need to pay the mortgage this month. I think the bank will understand. Give that money to Field. Okay, we're going to look at the screen again. $34,194. So we're getting there. And thank you to LaToya Hamilton. Thank you so much for your contribution. So this is an incredible effort. We are getting close, but please, please, please keep going. Help these numbers climb. Okay, so we are pretty close to the end here of this evening, but we are nowhere near the close to the end of your chance to contribute. Okay, we have $34,000, you got $15,000 to go. You'll have the opportunity to contribute throughout the weekend. It doesn't end now, it doesn't end at 8 o'clock, it doesn't end tomorrow, throughout the entire weekend. So please, if you haven't had a chance to give, if you're watching this tomorrow, you'll have a chance to give. Let's get to that $50,000 so we can get the full extent of the anonymous matching gift. So this is an absolutely incredible effort. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I want to thank you on behalf of all the students at Field who are going to prosper from your generosity. And if you didn't have a chance to give, or maybe you're watching this in the next couple of days, there's still time. Fund a Falcon will be open, as I said, for contributions throughout the weekend. And thank you to our generous match donor and to each and every one of you who participated tonight. Joey, take it away.
Oh, Jeff, look at this number. Isn't that terrific?
You did that.
You
caused that.
I looked over, I thought, wow, how did you do that, Jeff? It's magic.
That is terrific. We are over the 50,000.
Very persuasive.
So should we stop? Are we done?
No, we cannot stop now. Stop now. Think about this, though. The idea that all of the money goes for financial aid. All the money gives support to those kids to do everything that every other Field student has an opportunity to do. This is terrific. Fantastic. This is going to grow, and it's going to continue to grow. We know throughout the weekend as well. We're going to encourage all of you to keep clicking on that. Click again. You can keep clicking again, right?
2-3 times.
It's great. It's just like a little video game. Anyway, Jeff, thanks so much. We're going to close out tonight's program part here, but we want to celebrate you, the community, all of the folks who've come together to ensure that every student has what they need to thrive, to really do great at Field and in their lives beyond Field. The end of the school year is really right around the corner. I cannot believe that. The prom last weekend, which, I don't know about your kid, but my kid still talks about what an extraordinary experience the Field prom is.
My son won't tell me a word about it, but he got home safely, so I'm happy.
Really? Very interesting. We're going to look into what happened with Jeff's kid at prom last weekend. Anyway, graduation is just a few weeks away. A reminder to those of you seniors who have not started working on your speech, now's the time. All of this means that the summer we have all been longing for, the summer we have been waiting for, with people, with hugs, it's almost here, and these numbers are going to continue to grow. We can all agree we have never needed the break as much as we need it right now. And as you've heard earlier in this evening, our teachers are the ones who have really put every effort into becoming better educators for all the kids this year. They had to develop, they had to scratch things that didn't work. They had to redevelop materials, concepts, different ways, approaches to learning. They will take those lessons into the coming year to create, build, and facilitate joyful, relevant, and meaningful education for every single field student. And they're going to do so with tonight's theme embedded in their approach. Dare to be Field. Dare to be part of this. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for participating, and thank you for continuing to click and donate. Good night.